Good evening, everybody. This is a conversation. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to. I know this is the first time I've said this out loud to an audience of people. It's a thing that you say to yourself. It's a thing I say to myself. I'll be honest. When you're getting ready in the morning. Welcome to Brighton Fringe 2023. This is the beginning of your process to take part in Brighton Fringe 2023. It's a registration launch event where you, as artists and venues, can talk to each other. So there's some networking, and we're joined by people who are at home. So thank you for joining us at home and being there for us while we're here. This is also the first Fringe Academy workshop of the year as well. So this is also an education thing, so you can learn lots of things about how to take part in Brighton Fringe from my colleagues. I wouldn't dare assume that I'm going to tell you anything interesting whatsoever. Humour. Please help yourself to free cake and coffee and tea served so wonderfully over there. Thank you. And thank you to the Ledwood Centre generally for hosting us. They've been hugely supportive of Brighton Fringe over the past year. They're a great hub, inclusive, welcoming, and just all-round wonderful people. And we're really lucky to have the Ledwood Centre in the city. So a round of applause for the Ledwood Centre. I'd also like to thank the Fringe team for getting us to this point. I'd particularly like to single out Cameron, who is, I honestly, I cannot express how wonderful Cameron is. But everyone else is also wonderful. Other members of the team are also here. No, don't go! But with that in mind, could anybody who's in the Brighton Fringe team please make themselves known to us all? So, Rhiannon, Abby, Amy, and Cameron, and that's it. So, it's important to understand. We also have some board members here. I think we have Deborah, who's on the board, and Amy over there with the hair. Thank you all for being here too. You are Brighton Fringe, after all. We are just here to serve you. Honestly, that's not just a thing. It is a fact, and the reason why we are here is thanks to you. And you've frankly done bloody well to get through the last couple of years intact, and are here to show for it. I'm Julian Caddy. I'm the CEO of Brighton Fringe Limited. We're the charity that runs the central administration of Brighton Fringe. We're here to make... This is a Theresa May moment. Everything happens in live performance. So we're a very small team, is what I'm getting at here. It's there for the grassroots, and we very much have been experiencing a lot of the things that you've been experiencing from on a financial level, certainly. So I've had to make some quite difficult decisions. This year's dates are the 5th of May to the 4th of June, 2023, which means we end the festival with the half-term week and start with the coronation. We have found out, and which may also entail an extra bank holiday or a moved bank holiday. So it is going to be a Fringe event. They're coming. They're actually coming here. They're going to do it at St. Peter's. Registrations opened at midday yesterday, and I'm delighted to say that we've had 60 events already go into the system, which is fantastic. So if you're one of those 60 events, thank you for putting that in, and I hope that you complete your registration and join us next year. In terms of format for this evening, I'm doing the introductions, then I'm going to hand over to Cam and to Rhiannon to give you all of the important things. And then the venue managers and venue producers will come to the stage for a maximum 2 minutes moment to explain all the things that they need to explain. And then you'll be able to talk to them afterwards as well. But first of all, it's important to know what is Brighton Fringe. So Brighton Fringe is an open access arts festival. That means anyone and everyone can take part. We don't make any decisions in terms of the curation or the programming centrally. Individual venues have their own styles. So it's all about the relationship that you forge with your venue. And that is one of the key relationships that stay with you. And you'll find that relationship grows as you go through your time within the Fringe. And there are people who will start within the Fringe, they'll go away, come back, but the Fringe is always there for you. That's the aim that we want to maintain for everybody who's involved. It is completely open, and it's something that will always be welcoming, just as the Ledwood Centre. See that? Just came right round. That was neat. I enjoyed that. And in terms of numbers, Brighton Fringe may be very big. And indeed, this year it was there were many ticket sales. There is a slide that will be behind us, but it's still 40% smaller than it was before the pandemic, and that is a lot in terms of well, I'll be straight with you, with the revenue that comes in to the central organisation to sustain the services that we provide. So I've said that already that we've already announced that there is no brochure this year, which is really frustrating. I really want to have a brochure, but the costs have just become so prohibitive, and at the same time we also need to improve the website because it was really overdue, and it's something that we've been trying to get done over the last, how many years? 3 years? At least 3 years. And finally we said, look, we just have to change the website, streamlining the box office, and it's so what we're wanting to do is, if there's no brochure, we also need to improve the digital side and also help people who are digitally excluded by giving them extra support so that they can come here to the Ledwood Centre, for example, and talk to someone and help them through the process of booking or anything else that they may need to help them on their way. We're also looking at new ways to improve the festival, to create more opportunities for artists and venues by creating, we hope, a new outdoor hub. That is a stratospheric change in Brighton Fringe as an organisation and as a festival. It is subject to funding, and we hope that within the next month or so we'll be able to confirm either way whether it will happen. But we're joined by Aniela from Caravanarai, who will be a partner with us, even if it doesn't happen this year. You're not leaving. So we need to make sure that whatever happens, we give people time to prepare, and we will be communicating as much as we possibly can about that. So all in all, really, that's it. In the end, we just want to be a supportive environment for you. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Please come and ask as many of them as you possibly can, both to us and to the venues. In the meantime, I hand over to Cameron to talk about the things which are more important than what I've got to say. Thank you.
Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. My name's Cameron Brown, I'm the Venues and Companies Manager at Brighton Fringe. Last week was actually my 5th year anniversary of working for the Fringe. So I've been kicking around for a little while, and it's been great to be back for another year and see just another bunch of just the best work that we can present, and it's really fun to be back. So I work in participant services, which is a department in Brighton Fringe, which we are providing all of your support and information from the central organisation. We sometimes outsource for marketing pro tips to Rhiannon in the marketing department. But I and us in participant services will be the main point of contact for you getting in touch with the Central Fringe organisation. If you've got any questions, we work Monday, Friday, year round. So if you give us a call or an email, I will follow up with you. We have about 1,000. You can see from last year. Previous, that we have a lot of people taking part and a lot of participants. But it is myself and Abby as well in participant services fielding those questions. So do just get in touch if you have anything or you want to ask anything, any advice or support. Just let us know and we'll try our best. Taking part in Brighton Fringe. Why should you? It's a great question, but hopefully the support and the services that we run throughout the year really make things worth your while when participating. You can see those are just a few of the key services that we offer as an organisation. So we run year-round workshops called Fringe Academy. I'll get onto that. We'll do our press and arts industry professional programs. I'll get onto that later as well. Listing and selling all of your tickets, the bursary schemes, the award schemes, and just general support from participant services on the whole. Let's get into, I'm sorry, I really don't want this to just be an information dump, because this is the problem, is that there is a lot of information with taking part in the Fringe, and I feel like I speak for a while, and then I see everyone's face just getting hit with it. So I hope that this isn't too much of an overload, but I just want to go through some key things to start off with. Next slide, please, Rhiannon. So the important dates and deadlines for 2023 are listed above here. We have 2 waves of registration. Indeed. Can I get some lovely modelling, please, Julian? The modelling. So you do pick up one of these as well. It's got a key timeline if you flip them out. A timeline of events that happen throughout the season. So it kicks off with registration opening. That happened yesterday. We have 2 waves of registration. There's an early bird wave and then a general on sale wave. The deadline for the early bird is on the 25th, indeed, Friday, 25th of November. If you register, if you complete and finalize your event registration by that point in Eventitron, which is the registration system that we use, you will get a 30% discount on your registration fee. And then after that, we'll reopen for the general registration period, which is from the end of November until the 6th and 7th of February. No, it's just the 7th, of course. It's a deadline. So that's the deadline for general to be included in the general on-sale campaign. As you say, we won't have a brochure, but we'll still be doing a big campaign when we launch for our main on-sale with a launch event and various stuff happening throughout the city. You can still register after that deadline, but it'll be good to get in for the main pushes if you can. Can I get... other deadline? We'll get on to this. Can I get the next slide, please? Thank you very much. This is the registration fees, 2023. They are actually also on the back of that lovely handout as well, because that's some small numbers. But you can read all of that there. Your registration fee for Brighton Fringe, it varies slightly depending on the overall capacity of your run. So that is the number of performances times the capacity of each one. So, for example, yes, if I was doing three nights in a 20-seater, I would be in the under 60 category, and you do the maths on the rest. But that's how the registration fees will work. Again, this column is if you register by the 25th of November, you get that early bird discount on your registration. Moving on, we've got bursaries. Every year we partner with various organisations throughout the city to offer bursaries for participants taking part. We've got a decent number of them this year, and I would definitely recommend checking them out on the bursaries page of the Brighton Fringe website if you look it up. They'll be spread across the 2 registration periods. So we've got some that will be available during the early bird registration and then some for the general. I won't go through all of the details now, but I might just rattle off some of this the first wave. So all of these are currently open for applications. So do check it out. They opened yesterday. And the deadline for this, they'll close on the 11th of November for the first wave, and then with all of the winners to be announced by the 18th of November, and then you'll still have time to register before the 25th for the early bird deadline if you don't make anything. But yes, that's that. We're moving in to starting, with the Pebble Trust bursaries. Those two at the top are actually spread across both of the waves. So they open, but then they'll close in the general. But the Pebble Trust are our principal funder at Brighton Fringe, and they offer us a lot of support. Usually Louise Arnell from the Pebble Trust would be here to say a few words as well, but unfortunately she can't make it. But they really are great. And part of the support that they offer are a number of bursaries for young people. So if you're aged, if the majority of your members are under 25, local to Brighton, and putting on your first Fringe event, they give away 3 bursaries, which include a free registration and £500 towards production costs. So if you know of any young'uns kicking out there, or you are a young'un yourself, do check that out. It's a great bit of support. This year as well, for the first time, we're running some staff bursaries. So one of the endless perks of working for Brighton Fringe is that you get a free registration. I'm too tired for sarcasm. One of the many perks is that you get a free event registration to register your own show if you want to. But unfortunately, not all of them get taken up every year. So of those people who aren't using their own bursary, their own registration, they're giving it away to someone else. So you can have a look on the bursaries page of the Fringe website for the staff bursaries. They will set their own criteria, staff members offering it up. So it might just be open, it might not be. I think the ones, we've got a couple at the moment, which are open for a couple of free registrations for artists on low income. So I would definitely have a look at those details, and we'll be adding some more bursaries as well to that page once staff confirm them. Moving on. Oh, in wave 1. Oh, no, wait, sorry, I just want to go back. So wave 1, Southeast Dance. Great bursary, open to any show that includes movement, dance, or choreography. Doesn't have to be listed in the dance section, but if you've got a lot of movement in your show, we definitely recommend checking that out. The level of support varies from bursary to bursary because they're all in partner with different organizations, but at minimum, most of them are a free registration, and then like other bits of support on top of that, maybe some money, maybe some mentoring or dramaturgy. Dramaturgy? I don't know. I'm always unsure. Turgy, I'm sure. And yes, that's great. The Irene Mensa bursary is one registration for artists committed to cultural diversity and social inclusion in the arts. You must be able to demonstrate a proven track record of artistic engagement with marginalized and or vulnerable people. Bob's bursary. That's a fun one. Bob used to work for us, and then left. But he's back, which is great. And he's offering a free registration, he says 8 to 10 hours of artistic grant consultation and writing services, which is decent, not to be sniffed at. So that and £150 towards the cost of a BSL interpreter for your event. You just need to be based in Brighton for that bursary, so we'd definitely recommend looking at that. Encore Shore, not the last one on the first wave. They are giving out, Encore Shore are a partnered insurance provider, and they are giving away 5 registrations to any event in the circus, dance, and physical theatre genre, the theatre genre, and the literature and spoken word genre. So that's open to anyone, and you could get a free registration. So definitely worth applying for. All of these bursaries, by the way, most of them are just comprised of a Google form that's linked on the bursaries page, where you just have to fill out a bit of information. The Bird and Blend Community Bursary. Very fun. Bird and Blend are offering 2 bursaries spread across both registration waves. So sustainability as well. But this bursary is open to any artist or organisation who are trying to include community in their event in any of the following way. If you engage with the local community, it's organised by or benefits a community group or organisation, and if the event connects with a community theme or topic. That is a good one as well. You get free registration, marketing support from Bird and Blended Tea. They make tea. If people aren't familiar, very nice tea. We've actually got some here as well. Would recommend. But they're also offering rehearsal space at the Bird and Blend stores as well. If you need a space for that bursary. That's everyone in wave one, and then confirmed so far. We may add more, who knows? And then this is all. I won't go into all of that now. That's not the wave two will open in the general on sale period on the general registration period from the 28th of November to the 7th of February. Next slide, Rhiannon. Indeed, moving on to the various services that we offer as a Fringe Festival. We also run our arts industry and press professional programs. So every year we invite press and media professionals and arts industry professionals, e.g. these sorts of people. You've got programmers, agents, festival producers, press, you've got your journalists and your reviewers and so on. We invite them all to Brighton Fringe and we have an accreditation process. Once a professional of the industry or media becomes accredited with Brighton Fringe, we just check their details, they'll be able to book in complimentary tickets to shows that have opted in to offer that. So during your registration form, you'll be given a choice on whether you want to offer complimentary tickets to professionals in arts industry or press. And if you do, then they'll have access to a portal to put those tickets in. We will also have contact lists for arts industry and media professionals available in the registration system so that you can get in contact with people and invite them to your show yourselves as well. And yes. Oh, we also ask if your event's ready to tour, and there's a section in your registration form where you can upload any like tour pack or documents that you have, or just general like a press release. And then if you said yes that you're looking to tour after the festival, that all of those details will be made available to the professionals who might be looking for stuff to tour. So that's fun. I think that's all on that. Next slide. Awards. Crazy. Receiving an award is a great achievement for any event, and even winning or being nominated is really good for future promotion or just general great things. Anyone who... Oh yes, so anyone who wins an award at Brighton Fringe is also given a free registration to participate next year. Last year we handed, what did I put there? 17 awards we handed out. Again, awards are given in partnership with various organisations that we set up throughout the year. A lot of the award information will be published around like March, April time, so do look out for that. Most of them do have a short application, just so you can it's like a self-shortlisting thing, and then they'll know what sort of things to see. So do, look out for that when it comes around to that time. And then we also do a little awards ceremony on the last day of Fringe as well, which is fun. Fringe Academy, the next thing. I've got it all in order. I don't know why I keep looking at the thing. Fringe Academy is a series of free workshops that we run throughout the year. They're open to everyone. You don't have to be putting on a Fringe event, but it's aimed at those sort of topics of putting on a Fringe event. We have 4 confirmed for the season so far, not including this thing that's happening right now. But we've got, in order, we've got How to Crowdfund, which is, as you can see, most of these are on Zoom, apart from this one in the top right here. But yeah, most of them are on Zoom, so you can join, and we'll also be recording the ones as much as we can and putting it up on the resources page of our website. But we've got How to Crowdfund with crowdfunder.co.uk, who will go through how to run a successful crowdfunding campaign and just, lots of tips and tricks. It's a very useful session. My First Fringe on the 18th. Oh, no, that's not on the 18th. I've done it wrong. This is what happens when you copy and paste. Then it's just... thank you. Thursday the 20th. That's what happened. Thank you. So my first Fringe, that's it's sort of similar to this, but on Zoom and a bit different. But it's where you can come along and talk to ex-performers, or just people that have taken part before, venues, and us as well, to ask any questions if you want a bit more of it's a group, so not a one-on-one, but a bit more of a focused chat on taking part in Brighton Fringe. Do come along to that, and you can also hear from people that have done it before for their experiences as well. Exploring funding, that is an in-person one. It's at the Business and IP Centre, which is, I only learned about this at the beginning of the year, I think. They've got a centre on the top floor of the library for small to medium-sized businesses. And they're also, but part of that, there's a centre you can walk in, you can just chat to people and get some tips. But they are also really cool with lots of funding stuff. They've got some computers up there. They've got these really cool databases for grants and everything. And they're going to be running a session in person on finding funding for your Fringe event. They're very cool. I would recommend checking them out, even if you don't come to that session, but come to the session. And then we have an Arts Council project grant surgery. So that will be with Anna and Claire from the Arts Council, where they will be walking you through that process and also fielding any questions that you have about that GDANG ACE application. Is anyone, raise your hand if you've put in an application for ACE. Ever. Champions, look at you. Beautiful stuff. Moving on. Oh, all of this is on our website as well. As with everything, it's on the website. That's the caveat. Registration. As I said, we opened for event registration yesterday. All of our events are, and venues register on this registration system called Eventstron. Hands up if you've used Eventstron before. That was a begrudging hand, John. It's a mixed experiences, but it's a great platform in general. We use it for handling all of our event registrations. You will be coming across something that looks like this. This is all of the steps of an online registration that you'll have to complete. If you've registered events in the past, you can add in last year's registration into 2023, and it should copy across a lot of the information to save you doing that again. If you haven't, you can just start afresh and go crazy. But yes, we have written guides. There will be a video guide very soon on how to register an event with a video walkthrough and a voiceover similar to this of me sat there just explaining stuff, which is fun. Or a written guide if you don't fancy that. But yeah, and then if you need any help getting registered whatsoever, just get in touch with myself or Abby by emailing Take Part or giving us a call. We can also set up one-to-ones. We've had people come in before and sit down and do stuff in person, or we can do it on Zoom as well. So if you've got any questions, just get in touch. This is where you can also find, or you can see all of the venues that are registered for Brighton Fringe. So in this section, that section there, apply to venue. If you go to the next slide, baby. So this is where you'll be able to see all of the venues that have registered for the Fringe so far. You can see more details about each venue. You can message them through there or message them externally because it'll have their contact details on there as well. There are filters that you can filter by various venues and find the one that's right for you. Venues have to re-register themselves every year in Eventstron. That opened last week and we've got a good number in there at the moment. Last I checked, I think it was just over 40 odd, I think. So that isn't a definitive list because venues can register to take part at any time. And usually, some people will be registering for the early bird period. Some people won't be as focused on the early bird period and might get themselves registered later. So that's not a definitive list. Do check back or get in touch with us as well if there's a space that you're looking for that isn't on there. As I said, we can register any venue to be a Fringe venue. So even if there's a space that you don't like, that you do like to perform in, that hasn't taken part in the Fringe before, then we can get them signed up and then get them listed. But again, just talk to us and we should be able to help you. Yeah, I think that's about it on that. The box office. So one of the big things that we do as Brighton Fringe is sell tickets to your shows, and we will do that in person, digitally on the website and app, and over the phone as well. We are moving box office systems this year, which is a big thing, but it should be great. We're moving from Red 61 Via, if you've used that before, to Eventron's box office solution. And yeah, that will mean having everything in one place should streamline things a lot. It will mean that you would only have one place to check ticket sales, which will be your event registration, which is cool, rather than the separate website. And yeah, we'll be working quite closely with Chris from Eventron, who's the developer, to make sure that everything goes smoothly. But dun, 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 yes, we run a box office for your events. As I said, we sell that. We, Brighton Fringe, ask that a minimum of 30% of your tickets are sold through our box office. That's so that we have stock to run a box office for. You can allocate all of your tickets to be sold through Brighton Fringe, or you can allocate from 30 to 100. Yeah, but I would recommend speaking to your venue as well when it'll be a section of your registration when you select the allocations for your tickets. Speak to your venue, because especially if they run their own box office, they might need a certain percentage as well to be sold through there. But again, get in touch if you have any questions about that. Of the tickets sold through our box office, we do take a commission on tickets, which is 6.5% plus VAT. And yeah, that's on everything sold through the Brighton Fringe box office, which could be between 30 and 100% of your tickets. Having two percentages in the same sentence is confusing, so if you have any questions about that, again, get in touch. Should be able to sort things out. What do I have? Anything more? Oh wait, sorry, go back. Thank you. Yeah, you can have. That's what I was going to say. Settlements. We aim to settle, which is getting your ticket money. We aim to do that within 6 weeks of the end of the Fringe. So if you are, depending on what venue you're at, and this will come out in conversations with them as well, the hire agreement that you have with them, your settlement might go to a venue first, and then they'll process it and pass it on to you. But it'll be with your venue within 6 weeks, and if you're running your own thing, then it'll be with you within 6 weeks. But yes, I just say that at the top because we do get questions. Looking through, I think that is it. As I wrote here, I think that's all from me now. Do get in touch with myself or Abby if you have any questions. Happy to set up Zoom one-to-ones, etc. Thanks, guys. I hope, again, dump information, but hope it was all right. Do get in touch if you have any questions. As I say, it's just it's not a big monolithic organization. We're hopefully approachable, I would like to say. But thank you for listening to a bit of waffle. I'm going to pass over to Rhiannon now for marketing. Thank you.
Hello. I'm here. I'm Rhiannon. I'm the marketing manager at Brighton Fringe. I am here just to talk a little bit about our plans for 2023. Has it gone wonky? As Julian mentioned earlier, unfortunately, we aren't doing a brochure this year. We have put a blog on our website and shared it on our social media regarding how we came to this decision. Basically, the price of paper has gone through the roof. And the combined price of the print and the distribution has risen by about 50% since 2019. Those prices are set to continue to rise between now and February when we would print the brochure, so it will be even more expensive than the quotes we're getting now. As Julian also mentioned, we've committed to spending around £30,000 improving our website and box office system, so hopefully we will have a better online experience for everybody. The solutions we were looking at to produce a brochure this year, the only way we could do this would be to produce a brochure that had no venue index, no map, no event index, and we would have only been able to produce around 30,000 copies, which in comparison to 2019, we produced 90,000 copies. When we're producing a short run like that, it loses its marketing purpose. We still are investing a huge amount of money into it and a huge amount of staff, labour and time. And it's just not something that we can afford to do at this point. In better news, we are developing a new website. We're working closely with the local developer BozBoz. We've done a lot of exploratory sessions with them so that they can really understand the many different audiences a Brighton Fringe website has, whether it's a sponsor, a participant, a venue manager, and how to get the information that those people need to them the quickest. So we're definitely looking forward to having a more accessible and more useful website. We're also implementing a new box office system, as Cam mentioned. This is hopefully going to reduce costs for Brighton Fringe itself, but also streamline ticket purchases for our audiences. You will no longer be required or forced to make an account to make a purchase. You can just buy tickets from our website, which is a sort of feedback that we received quite a lot last year. We have invested in our out-of-home advertising. This is something that came up in our participant feedback survey. They felt that not enough had been done to invest in out-of-home advertising, billboards, and to feel the presence of Brighton Fringe around the city. So we have invested and already booked up quite a lot of those marketing spaces for next year. Obviously, May is a competitive month in Brighton with the festival, Great Escape, and lots of other things going on. So we've got in there early. So hopefully people will enjoy the marketing for this year. We will hopefully have more advertising real estate as in sort of Edinburgh and other fringe festivals you go to with a new venue. If we do have a new venue, we will have advertising space around that venue, which will be quite a long stretch of space in the centre of the city. This will be open to all participants, not just people performing at that venue, as the same with all additional marketing that we have. So we do have additional marketing for posters, lamppost boards, online advertising, emails, and lots of other things. But yeah, it will be accessible to all participants to purchase if they wish. As Julian mentioned earlier as well, we are looking at investing in and getting some funding for digital literacy workshops. We do realise like a large portion of our audience isn't necessarily digitally literate, and with the removal of the brochure, that is something that we need to keep in the forefront of our mind. We've also been talking to Digital Brighton and Hove, who are based in the library, and hopefully working up some plans with them to run workshops throughout, hopefully pre-Fringe and throughout Fringe, in an environment that is more accessible, people feel more relaxed in, they don't feel the pressure of being in an in-person box office with a queue forming behind them. They're able to sit down with people, browse the menu, learn how to browse the menu online and buy those tickets. We will be doing a print run. This will most likely take the form of an A2 sheet that folds into A5. It will feature a map in the middle with venues for Brighton Fringe on it, and on the outside it will feature sort of box office information and key information. This is so that we have some present in transport hubs and in businesses around Brighton and Hove, so that people sort of get that signal that the Fringe is coming back and it's happening again. It just won't take the format of a full brochure. We will be investing more and more in digital advertising across Facebook, Instagram and Google. And at this point, we are still fundraising to ensure the return of the Brighton Fringe app. The Brighton Fringe app, whilst it is my favourite way to browse the programme and buy tickets, it currently costs a huge amount of investment for not much return. Last year we had around 3,500 users, and we invested around £20,000 to £25,000 in it. This year we're looking at a similar level of investment again, to keep the app up to date and fully functioning as we require it to be. So at this point, we're still looking at fundraising for that to happen in 2023. Next one, thank you. I'm not going to spend as long up here as Cam did. We have already online got a how to market your event guide. This takes you through sort of every basic step that you could possibly need to learn about how to market your event and target your audiences. We also do have a how to market your venue guide if your venue is not necessarily like a year-round run venue that already has a marketing plan in place. So please feel free to check both of those out online. Also in the new year, we will be running Fringe Academy workshops about how to market your event, which is where we'll take you through sort of a similar material as the guide. But yeah, it just gives you an option to talk about it on Zoom and have a chat. And then after those sessions, we also will run one-to-one sessions where you can book on and ask for advice with me and Matt, who is the marketing assistant, about how to market your venue or event. But yeah, please feel free to contact me or Matt. We are a small team of 2, but please feel free to contact us and we'll try our best to get back to you as soon as possible regarding your marketing questions. But yeah, that's all from me.
We're now going to invite some venues to come along. We've got a list of those who were on the list, but there will be more, I think, after this is complete. Is Bridget Ann Goddard from Yoga in the Lanes here? Well, that started well. So that's a venue. Do you like to press the thing? Sort of people doing stretchies things. And Amy McGregor from the Actors, if you'd like to come up.
Bit shorter than that. It's fine. We'll just bend that down. Hello. You might recognise my face from different guises. I am giving the Actors a hand with programming for the Fringe for 2023. So I've got some exciting news. The Actors is back. So formerly the Marlborough, the little theatre above, is going to be a Fringe venue again. Hooray! So looking for inclusive, diverse, LGBTQ plus shows, diverse mix of things. Could be comedy, theatre, improv, workshops, music, whatever you like. There are a couple of different spaces available. There is the classic theatre space. It now has a modular stage, so that can be moved around. So you could have it front facing, you could have a little catwalk, you could have it in the round, lots of different things to do. 60 capacity, going to have hopefully a brand new lighting rig in the new year, but if not, we can put things in. We could do a basic thing. There's also a projector screen and any additional bits of tech or whatever you need we can talk about. There's also what used to be the green room is now a lovely space at the front of the building. We're calling it the light room. You can get 25 there in a kind of cabaret seating way. Again, basic light, sound. There is a freestanding projector screen as well. Am I being timed? You are. Okay. You've got 20 seconds. And we could also do things in the back bar, which will be a 50 cap. And that's more suitable for music, poetry, cabaret seating again. Obviously, all the details are on Eventatron. They're all up there now. It is a straight hire fee with no box office take. That's all yours. But as I say, like programming-wise, we want a nice diverse mix. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, get on Eventatron and apply, and we'll have a chat.
Thank you. Next is Luciana Cousin from Archipelano. You are. Oh, not. I'm in, sorry.
Hi, so I'm Jim, not Luciana, but I am here with Luciana tonight. So we're from Archipelano, which is a new LGBTQ plus inclusive, open to everyone space in the heart of Kemp Town. We kind of evolve throughout the day and throughout the week. So during the daytimes, we're more of a cafe, evolves into more of a restaurant and bar in the evenings, and we do events every weekend as well. So in our venue, we've got a lovely stage. We call it the glitter stage. It's covered in glitter, rainbows all over the walls everywhere. The beauty of our venue is that we can host around probably about 50, 60 seated, but we also do have standing space as well, so we can up to around 100 people, depending on the style of the event that you want to put on. We also have a food offering as well, so if it was more of a theatre and a dinner type show, we're open to that as well. And the types of shows that we'd be able to host really is anything that's queer focused, anything theatre based, live, drag. We do a mixture of everything. So we're open to all kinds of events. We do a sex education event that we actually run once every month, so anything in that kind of category is we're open to as well. Please do get in touch if you'd like to use our space. We've got capabilities of putting up like polls for cabaret shows and all those kinds of things as well, so yes, we'd love to hear from you.
Next is Aniela Zaba from Caravanarai, as promised.
Hello, everyone. My name's Aniela. I'm the creative and venue producer for Caravanarai. As has been mentioned, this venue is TBC, funding dependent. But what we're hoping to bring is Caravanarai is sorry to use this word, it's very overused, but it's an immersive world. It was born at Bestival and has grown there over the last 10 years, made by an artist called Pete Bateman, who makes wonderful world installation sculptures out of, some people might call it junk, but it's beautiful, it's amazing, found art basically. So this venue is all made from old caravans, from old fairground rides, dodgems, waltzers, everything. So it's grown at Bestival over the last couple of years, 10 years, but we're hoping to bring it here to the north side of St. Peter's Church with two brand new venues built within that. One will be a big top that will have around a 200 capacity seated with the potential to take the seats out and be a 300 seater venue. And one will be a little fairground style ride studio black box space for about 50 people. How we're really hoping Caravanarai will become a kind of hub for the Brighton Fringe. So as well as having the venue spaces that people can perform in, it will be a meeting space for different community groups. People will be able to book out, the space is made out of lots of caravans that maybe you could hold 10 people in, or hooplas with 30 people in. So hopefully people can come and use those spaces. Also, in terms of the programming, what we want to do is work with local programmers, local promoters, local community groups. And so lots of people will have a voice in how that space is programmed eventually. That's the dream. Let's hope we get the funding through. We have put ourselves on Eventron so people can start to register their interest in being at the venue. Really hoping that we can build this. It's such a beautiful world. You step into Caravanarai and you kind of step through this archway into this just like crazy, fantastical world. So hopefully we can bring a really like real festival vibes into the centre of Brighton, but also with the two new venues providing two new spaces for people to perform in. The big top will be aerial riggable, so they'll be able to have circus shows, cabaret shows, music shows. The black box space, the studio space, I think will be more little puppetry shows, cinema, children's shows, and there'll also be an outdoor stage which will be suitable for busking. So any shows performing at the Fringe can come and can do a slot there, and a little family and children's area is the hope as well. So yeah. Hope we pull it off.
Thank you, Aniela. And Cliff Barnes from the Carolina Brunswick.
Oh, yes, my venue is Carolina Brunswick, an 80-seater comedy venue above a pub down the level, that way. Very near Caravanarai, very exciting. We've got a green room, we've got a raised stage, we've got 4K projectors. We're predominantly a comedy venue, as I say. I'd like to see more kind of clown shows, weird stuff, game shows, maybe live podcasts, that kind of stuff. We do get booked up very, very quickly. I generally have the whole programme sorted by mid-November. It's quite a small hire fee. It's done through Laughing Horse Comedy, who obviously well experienced in putting together fringe programs. And you do get a brochure. You do get to be in a brochure if you sign. If you're in our venue. This is this year's venue. 2022 brochure is what I mean. As you can see, we had Maisie Adam, we had Alistair Beckett King, Troy Hawke, people like that. And from like sort of February to July, we just have high profile comedy all those months. And so you'll be sharing pages with, this year we had the likes of Tom Allen, Angela Barnes, Rosie Jones, Kerry Pritchard McLean, Sophie Duker, Izzy Sooty, just like really big names that, you know, will bring people to the Carolines throughout those months with a full Brighton Fringe programme right in the middle of it. It's always good fun.
And as a special bonus, we have JD Henshaw from Sweet Venues.
No slide, but you're welcome. Hi, I'm your special bonus for this evening. I'm JD, and Sarah and Heather from the venue are just there at the back if anyone wants to chat. We operate Sweet Venues, which has been here for ages. So let's just move on from the timeline of that. We operate year round. We've got a beautiful theatre venue in Hove at the Poets Ale and Smokehouse. 40 seats. It will do theatre, comedy, music. We've got the ability to do projection, full sound and light, whatever you need is there. We've also got our little incubator space at the Welly, which is the Duke of Wellington, just off the train station, which is a tiny little baby 15-seater. If you've got that one-person show, that two-hander where you're looking to experiment with a bit of spoken word comedy, that's a gorgeous, very low-risk space for you. What else do you say? It's Fringe, isn't it? I mean, we would encourage you to do crazy things. We like that. That's a very happy time. We accommodate children's shows all the way through to game shows that we probably shouldn't talk about too often in polite company. If people are interested in seeing the venue, we, as I say, operate year-round, and Brighton Horror Fest kicks off this week. So if you want to come and see the venue in action, there's stuff going on for the next sort of 10 days. You'd be very welcome to come and have a look and actually see it doing its thing, which would be lovely. Any queries, JD at sweetvenues.com, sweetvenues.com website, Sarah at sweetvenues.com. Put someone's name, you'll probably get someone. We would love to have you with us. It's going to be, we should try to do the timeline thing. It's going to be like 10 or 11. Definitely. Join us for a decade of making you feel older. Look, they keep sending emails for 25-year anniversaries of album tours. It's driving me nuts. So a decade of Sweet in Brighton. Come and do that with us. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Are there any other venues? That was my next. Come in. Come along. Introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, sorry I was a last minute one. So I'm Lewis, I'm from Loudshirt Brewery. Chloe actually works at the tap room, I just noticed. So as of today, we're redoing our tap room. It's been taken over. So it's in Kemp Town. The venue capacity is about 200. 100 inside at least, 150. And obviously we've got the beer garden as well. It's a big car park. So we're redesigning it. It's going to be a really nice space, big space as well. We encourage anyone to apply. Just ask myself a little bit more. As well, obviously, we have we've launched our brewery as well, and our beer has been very successful. We only launched 3 weeks ago, so we're now actually in and around Brighton, some venues as well. And any venues that need dispense equipment, we have that, if anyone needs. I don't know too much about our venue yet, because we're designing it. We built our bar yesterday. Which was quite exciting. But I would encourage, I'm there most days of the week. Obviously, email me or anything if you want to come see it. We're obviously open to ideas, and we want the creativity, the community to help build it. Because right now, I've only been in Brighton a month. This is my first Fringe. So we're learning every day. It'd be cool to meet you guys later. So we're in Kemp Town. We're in the Bell Tower Estate. It's opposite Lidl. So down there's a couple of breweries. We're a little bit hidden away, but we've got a large space. And my idea, I've only been here a month, but I wanted to get that side of town a little bit busier, and obviously it'll help with ourselves being there as well now and launching. But yeah, come say hello. Sorry, that was very unprepared. I've had a busy day and didn't know I was going to be here. But thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. So now is the opportunity to start talking to each other. There's someone else who isn't a venue, but Paul Levy is here from Fringe Review in disguise. If you want to find out from him pieces of information about how to do very well at Brighton Fringe, he will be there for you. Ask a question. That is not something I know about, and not something I can really answer. But they're not on a Ventatron, so that probably answers that question in this instance. Thank you, everybody. Talk. Thank you.
Just to point out, venue managers should have labels as well. So do look out. If you're a venue manager and you don't have a sticker on, shout me. But talk amongst yourselves.